Hi guys, this is the branch vlog for 0.2.1.2, the equipment slot one. Might not look like there's a lot there, but I've done quite an extensive rewrite of the equipment slot process. But like we usually do, we start at the top, like stick the books at the top and then do numerical order. Already got a video on the experience infinite loop issue. It was to do with, because I've moved to structures for my variables, you'll see in the video anyway, on the book video, the John structure, annoying, it's reset itself, but yeah, the John structure was set to essentially 0 and 0, so when there's a button that I can add experience to go up a level, and it was almost just going an infinite loop because it's not meant to stop until it's done the full level and then the remainder. So if you had leftover 3 experience points from leveling up, that's the remainder. But essentially, because there was never a remainder, because they were all zeros, it was just going round and round and round and round and round. So that's the infinite loop. Next bug, all items and equipment defaulted to BP master. Yeah, this is a bit of an ongoing bug, really. If I change the struct, it's like if I change the struct too much, that's a very vague term, that seems to upset it. And the issue is, if I just get BP master, so equipment, item. So the items boss, items the overarching thing, and you see on the right, that's its defaults. That is what it's defaulting. It's done it a couple of times actually when I've changed the structs. It's my own fault. I shouldn't change the structs halfway through, but I know for a fact I'm going to have to change it at least one more time. So I'm not looking forward to that. Hopefully they fix the bug. But this is item. See on the top right, it's actor, so essentially it's its own parent. If we go to equipment, you see equipment is a child of the master item we just had open. What it's doing here is, so that's like, if it's being used, get the information, you've used this item, okay, and then we remove one from the inventory, blah, 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 destroys the actor. And then this overrides the event on used and says, okay, so equipped it, but only overrides it where it's equipment. So you see, this only triggers for equipment, so non-consumables, anything that's got like equipment or weapon against its name. So then it goes through this and equips it, but I won't go too deeply because this is part of this massive one. It's one of the very earliest tasks I put down. Originally, the equipment slot was a single entity, and then I managed to turn it into like a weapon and chest. If you've seen on the last 5 branch vlog videos, you'll notice that I've got body armor in, and I've got like a singular weapon that's interchangeable in. Since then, I've created a head, all the variables for the head, so essentially like helmet, gas mask, chest, so body armor, backpack, belt, so accessory 1, and wrist, accessory 2, as well as a side weapon and a main weapon. So if we start at the beginning, okay, so you equipped a weapon, you've dragged it across, or you can right click equip. It will do, you'll firstly go to equipment, and there is master equipped item and master unequipped item. Right, so master equipped item, I use the item category. So if I just go to the weapon now, let's say gas mask, let's go to gas mask. Category, head. See all these different categories. Depending on what category they are, well, that category flows through into here. It goes, oh, don't need that bit now, really. Okay, what category is it? Okay, so that's gas mask. So okay, so equipment head. Okay, so then we do equipment head, and then let me just click this. Equipment head, so it goes okay. So yeah, let's feed the item into equipment head. You double click that, you go to head, and then it does the equipped item process, but it's the head equivalent. This can be tidied up, but you can see I get all the variables from it. There's an array of items that classifies head. So helmet and gas mask, kind of good for like unlockables if you want to retain things, keep things away. And then usual thing, is it equipped? Yeah, cool, then it's fine. If it's not, then you can unequip it, and then the usual thing, and then it equips it, unequips it, goes through this process. So if you've loaded the game up and the equipped head is valid, then unequipped it. I can't remember why it does this, and then it equips it. Essentially, it works. And then after it's done that, so the equipped head, so that gas mask is now the equipped head object. You get the class of that, and that goes into the class, and then that class and the equipment category then goes to master update slot, which is different from master equipped item, because that equips it, that adds it to your character. Master update slot then it goes into the equipment widget, which is, you've seen it, it's this thing, and goes, okay, cool, what's the category? Right, so it's head. Right, okay, so update the head slot. Okay, so a very similar process as you've seen with the equipped, and you'll see with the unequipped after. Does this, you go into here, and then we've got custom event. So that's the head info. It's very long in the tooth. I definitely can refine it now. I know so much more. And then that's the text. That's the description. That sticks on those little these little slots. Pops up here. You'll see in a minute. Equipped head, cool, and then update the slot. And this is the individual slot. So what you saw update master slot looks at a step back, looks at this element, but update slot looks at the actual slot element. Then it goes through here and it does the usual thing, it just sets the style. This is completely dynamic because each one of those slots is an equipment slot. So that's the process if you're equipped in helmet or anything for your head. The unequipped process, again, so you've done unequipped, so that's right click on the slot or you drag it off back to the inventory. Same process. What's its category? Okay, so you're unequipping from a head. Right, okay, so specific index, to specific index, so is it going to a specific slot in the inventory? What's that index? And then what's the item? So I suppose you don't really need the item. I'm thinking I could probably do a universal singular unequipped, just like what slot is it looking at? What category? Cool, like that slot, essentially, but works for now. Go to head, so you've unequipped it. So we add the item back to the inventory. We put it to just the default index. If there's a specific index, I should really put an index there then, because that's essentially saying it's specific index, but not. That will always do like the emptiest one, like the next empty one. So it's fine for now. So you've got your equipped head is valid. If it's valid, destroy it because your equipment's gone. It's now back in your inventory from your equipment, so you can destroy it because that's the equipment. That's not the actual item in your inventory. Right. Ignore this. This is for the armor. I retrofitted it. Go back to the master slot, update it again, but you see where we updated it with an item class. When we were equipping it, we update it with an empty, a null item class, so it wipes it. Goes back to the inventory update slot, goes back to update head slot, and then goes there, and then go, okay, so it's unequipped, yep, and then update that, and then just wipes it. So equipped and unequipped follow the same flow. So that's if you're putting something on your head. It's the same for all the equipment. It is different for the weapons. Oh my god, I'm in the middle of doing the weapons. Right. So right now, you equip the weapon main, equip to the weapon side. So you equip weapon main. I'm in the middle of the next branch, so some of this stuff I will not touch on in this one, I'll touch on in the next one. A bit of background. Yeah, we've got 2 weapon slots now, haven't we? But how do you define which one's the active weapon? So this is what I'm in the middle of doing in the current branch, the traits branch. Just happens to be during the traits branch. Right. So weapon class array, there you go. Same again. Very similar, except from get the internal name, get the actual name. So essentially lowercase, no text. Just like if it's PDW, it would just be lowercase PDW. If it was name, it'd be like capital PDW, or it'd be like service pistol with capitals, like a proper name. That would just be all no space, service pistol, all flat, concatenated word. Get the main weapon, get the fire mods, get the fire mode index, make that the prime, make that the fire mode for the main weapon, and then same process again. Equipment class goes to main, and then toggle active weapon, because you see if you've just, I should really, it's more like a creative decision. If you've got a handgun and you've just equipped it a main weapon, the creative decision currently is that after you've equipped it, that then becomes your main weapon and then becomes active. You can toggle between it with T. I'll show in the next branch, but that's the creative decision. And so that's main weapon. Okay, so let's go back a step and let's do side weapon. Similar process. Currently they share the same weapon class array. Same thing, but side instead of main. Goes like this, goes like that, same thing again, and then it assumes you want side because you equipped it side recently. Right, I've done, so that's the weapons and the slots and everything. I'll showcase it in a minute, but also this is the code side. We need the visual aspect, don't we? So then I had to go into paper ZD and rewrite this. So animation graph. If you're dead, you're dead. Like currently dead, no weapons. If you have the service pistol enabled, if you have a service pistol but the main weapon is not PDW and your active weapon is service pistol, don't really need, kinda need it for now. Then pistol animations, and then essentially if you don't have the service pistol but you do have a PDW like the submachine gun, then submachine gun animations. If you have both and your active weapon is PDW, you want a submachine gun with the pistol holstered. This is new, that's completely new. I made these many months ago and I finally was able to just like drop down, just pop them in. Oh, it was lovely. And then again, you've got them both, but your service pistol is the main one, brand new again. Your pistol is in your hand, PDW is on your back, which I will show. And if you've got no active weapons, it's no weapons, otherwise no weapons. That's like that because originally I put death at the bottom, but really death takes precedent over everything, because if you're dead, you shouldn't need to look through all this logic. So that's that. I will showcase it after I've just talked about the next few things. I had loads of redirectors to the old assets. Like, there you go. All these assets, there was a bunch of redirectors, so I did them, tidied it up. I haven't logged it, but I put all the rest of the widgets into their own folders and did redirectors for them. And updated save slot logic. Yes, so those slots that you've put in, those weapons that you've put in, the armor you've put on, the helmet you've put on, the sidearm you've put in, the accessories you've put on, all that kit, the backpack you've got on, is now also stored in the save load. So if we go to save game, it's just there. You see the bottom? There you go. That little bit. And then yeah, they're a bit out of order because I changed the naming convention. So that's going into structs. So that's the autosave. Alright, that's the save. That's the autosave are essentially identical, just this bit's different. And then the load looks real good because it comes from structs. Don't need to touch the load here. I do then need to, on event begin play, I crack open the game instance and I feed it back into the character. So I had to add it in there. Definitely will be a better way to do it, but it's a massive, significant improvement over the version 1. Going off event dispatches, feeding loads of them in. Now it's off one game instance, feeding loads of variables in. Significantly, like I literally more than halved it. The performance time's got to be better. So that's that. Let me play it. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Right. If you look on the left, you know what we'll do? Just for this one, I'll show you it. We could do it another time with the. I'll show you the toggle logic. You'll be able to see some of the toggle logic because I'm going to have to play it, but we'll do a deep dive into the toggle logic on the next branch. So there we go, you've got your equipment thing, massive improvement. Some of them have thumbnails, but they don't have proper textures, so if you see me just pressing E everywhere and collecting stuff, that's what I'm doing, that's why I'm doing it. Right, so, oops, that's not good, that might work. Right, okay, right click, equipped, pager, right click, backpack, and then you can drag it into head, but boom, it still goes to the right one. Drag that into sidearm, it goes to bulletproof vest. You see the armor is actually set. The values here are off because the game instance, I must have messed something up with the game instance. I'll fix it on this video. Helmet, and then we go adaptive, but it's sidearm. It's not completely sorted. You see it, there's bugs with it. It's not saying it's like single. It should say single in red under there, and it also should not equip it automatically, and it should do that animation as if he's just pulling out of his holster. So I'm in the middle of fixing stuff. You've got that, but you see it goes on the back, it takes into account 2. It goes like that, and if I press T, that's main weapon, like that. It does store the ammo correctly. The thing I made last July? Oh, it's like a million years ago. But that does work. There are bugs with the ammo, but that is not the ammo thing's fault. It's how I'm toggling its fault. But let's do it. See, that shouldn't be burst. That should be a single shot. See, it thinks it's the submachine gun. So I guess it's cool if you want to do like fully automatic handgun. I can go like that. Right, remember 2.26 kinetic ammo. Oh yeah, infinite loop crashed it. So as you can see, I'm in the middle of working on the toggle stuff here and there. I'll show you it, but I'll talk about it. So yeah, there's a bit of work that needs to be done. It's in the middle. It's work in progress, and then yeah, just like feed that in there maybe. And then this, instead of it being like weapon, it's now active weapon, and active weapon is defined by toggle, which is here, which is very close getting it right. But that's onto the next branch. This is essentially that. I realised I haven't showed you going through another level with the kit, so let's collect everything, put everything on. The stuff is bigger and smaller because the master item resets and the master equipment reset, and then only items that relate to the master equipment got reset to the dummy things, and it's faff. But if I go like here, so we go through, and there you go, it's remembered everything. If I do, I've pressed F, I think I've crashed it. Yeah, I've crashed it. Oops. Right, I've crashed it now, that's not good. So in terms of next stuff, because that's this branch done, traits, so I'll have a little widget at the beginning, but you can just kind of tick traits, kind of like, I don't know, like Fallout, classic Fallout traits sort of thing, but nothing, probably nothing as extreme. And then yeah, that's the last thing to do for September. I will get the toggle functionality sorted as well, but this is vast. At one point I really struggled to even create like a secondary slot and make it all persistent. Now I could essentially do a gazillion slots. I've got it locked down. I can't think you'd ever need any more than that. Going forward, I will put the functionality back on for the health watch, where the vitals on the top right are actually invisible unless you've got the health watch. I did set that up a long time ago, but it was when I had a single slot, and because I was bug testing, I just put it back onto permanent. Armor already works. Helmet, I'll get to stack armor. Backpack will increase carry capacity on the inventory. You'll see there's carry capacity. Belt as pager. Pager. Kind of like, it's kind of futuristic, but not. I'm thinking I'll do situations where you can get calls, and if you have the pager equipped, then a bit like Silent Hill, where if you're in somewhere at the right time, right place at the right time with the right items, then yeah, you can get like different outcomes, stuff like that. Yeah, Silent Hill. I think that's Silent Hill 1. Yeah, because you're in the cafe and you can save the cop, can't you? If you have like some certain items at a time, you pick them up earlier. Well, that's equipment. That is a big monster. That was one of the biggest things I need to crack. Once I stop making new stuff, it'll be easier to blast through the bugs, because I won't create 5 new things, create 2 bugs, create 5 more things, create 2 bugs. It'll essentially just be like a cull, which will be done here. After I've done traits, I don't really kind of go into detail into like the current month or the next few branches, but yeah, intro will be, I'll do like an intro video to the game, just a bit of text, nothing fancy, no sort of like video special effects stuff, at least not yet. And then yeah, just grinding through stuff. You'll notice that I haven't been adding in extra ones up here. That's because once I get to January and I've done persistent levels, NPCs and enemies, and I really have a think, because to be honest with you, I really want to flesh out the enemies from version 2 to version 3, and a lot of the enemies only have idols, and though they move around, they only have idols. The ones that don't have idols are all version 2, and the version 3 of those zombies appears when they are idle. So yeah, I've got to think, do I want to expand the enemies? I don't really want to expand the weapons, because as you can see, every single weapon combination will need to be incorporated into here, and they'll need to do their own little sprites, and have to do their own little state machine. So right now, I think 2 weapons with all those variables, all those different things there. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different weapon states. I think that'll do. Yeah. So I'm kind of rambling a bit, but yeah, after all this is done, and let's say I've quashed a bunch of bugs, not many bugs popping up, I think I'm going to flesh out the player enemy interaction really well. So just make it, like, it's the main part of the game, isn't it? Destroying the enemies, surviving the enemies, interacting with the enemies. You get poisoned, all this other stuff. a main part of the game. So yeah, I think February will probably have a big overhaul into maybe February and March will have a big overhaul, like very artistic hand drawing pixel stuff for the enemies, and then after that I'll give it a big pass on NPCs, a similar sort of love, because right now they only kind of have idols. And then after that, enemies and NPCs done, I will flesh out lighting. Because if we get lighting, all this stuff done to the right here, and then we get enemies fleshed out version 3, NPCs fleshed out version 3, and we get the lighting down good. It's not really ready for a demo, but it's really getting there. So yeah, enemies and NPCs, then quest system really fleshed out, at least for protagonist. And then after that, going into year 3, I know I'm going well into the future now. Year 3 starts the 1st of April 2025. Oh, I can't believe it. But you see in the levels, we have these here. These are all prologue. But then there's Act 1, there's Act 2, there's Act 3. Level 3, Year 3 will see me start creating the levels for Act 1, which a lot of them will be these, but slightly different. That's why I really need to refine all these levels first, because I don't want to be changing them in 2 different places, 2 different versions, 2 different places. For Year 3, we'll see a big expansion into Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 layouts and quests and everything. It's really coming along. There's just so much to do. But yeah, bear with me. I hope you enjoy it. I know I've rambled a bit. Yeah, the next video you'll probably see will be me doing a bug video. Then I might do like a feature lottery video. I haven't done one of those yet. Where you essentially do a long play. I record myself in real time doing it with all the rambling. Same with the bug one. Similar process, but it's bug instead of a feature. So yeah, either bug or feature next, and then a traits one before the start of October. And then yeah, thank you for your time. Getting there. See ya.